I went to a private school in Beirut. It was international college, and there were quite a few kids that would show up in some very expensive or nice-looking cars. And when someone would show up in an Audi Quattro like this in 1984, brand new, fresh out of the factory, that was like a huge deal. I mean, it felt like you were actually looking at a Countach parked outside your school. It was a match made in heaven. I was just floored. My name is Manuel Leon Minassian, and I drive a 1983 Audi Quattro Turbo Coupe. The car is a five-cylinder car. It's got a turbo, and it is basically the, let's say, the souped-up version of the GT that they made. And these cars were also ran in a Group B rally as a Quattro Coupe Sport, and they were shorter with much more horsepower. I grew up watching as a kid, in 1984, my passion was to watch Group B rally. And one of my idols is Walter Röhrl, who's a German Porsche Audi, driver. He really shined when he drove the Group B, Quattro Coupe Sport on the snow at full speed. And you could literally see, the both feet on the gas and both feet on the brake, pumping, rigorously just to get the car to stay, planted on the snow. Shifts really good. It's a 5-speed. The location of the shifter is actually one of the nicest parts on the car, where it's just right where you want it to be, as opposed to some other cars where you have to reach for it. And it's very enjoyable to shift. The car initially came in through Vasek Polak, lived in San Diego its whole life, and then this person owned it for a very, very long time, and I had kind of said, I'm first in line, when you want to sell. So at one point, he had decided to sell it to me. It was exactly 4 years ago. And I'm really, really happy that I waited for this car, because I know it was all sorted and it didn't have any electrical issues, which is a big deal with these cars to figure out. It's got, 175,000 miles since 1983. And it's been here in California from day one. These are the original Röhrl wheels, that came on the car. They're 15-inch. I've pretty much kept the car mostly stock. It has a few little upgrades, but nothing that would, deter from the original look. It's more of a momentum car, so you have to kind of keep it convinced all the time for you to get some performance. The drivetrain, the engine is more like a supercar, and that's what puts this car like in a different bracket than any other VW or Audi of the 80s. Being that these cars mainly, established their pedigree as rally cars, and they were among the first four-wheel drive rally cars when, rally cars were running mostly front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, and then it was kind of introduced where it was legal to run a four-wheel drive. Audi was among the first to do that, and obviously came up with this like supercar phenomenon that did extremely well. I mean, they were just champions for years. Most turbo cars, it's suggested to wait probably like a good 3-4 minutes before you turn it off, just so that the intercooler gets a chance to cool down a little bit. And even now, when it's all sorted out, it seems to want to open the windows when it wants to and not open them when it doesn't want to. So it's got some fantastic quirks about it. 80s cars have kind of become you know, a thing of the future where people are collecting those a lot now, and I see it especially with cars that are flared. A lot of thumbs up when I drive this car. People just go nuts. The people that know what it is, they obviously like those cars because of their rally pedigree. So being that they're younger and they've kind of digged into the past of, you know, rallying, this is like for them like the messiah, you know, of the old rally cars.